Hello degenerates, welcome back to the Waifus. I'm Sefe, and today we're going to be making a tier list for PVE in terms of the Pilgrims Burst 3 units that we currently have in game, which are these 5 girls right here. So as you can see on the left, we have multiple categories from can fit on any team to the same as getting Celine. Now Celine is not like it's like super bad, it's just like, well, she's fucking bad, like she's completely useless. So let's just leave Celine in there and let's start with the tier list. Before we start, like always, don't forget to like and subscribe to help me grow the channel, and you can also join our Discord server with the link in the description below. Now, all that said, let's start the tier list, and let's start with Snow White. Let's go from right to left. Snow White is the highest hitting burst skill in the game, and you've probably seen some videos of her just one-shotting the terrain boss, meaning in terms of DPS, she is amazing. The problem is you need to properly invest in her and build a team around her, because outside of her ultimate, her DPS is not on par with the rest of the Pilgrims, which again is not something bad, but you still need to plan around her and which units are you going to pair her with. And that's the reason why we will probably put her in here. Needs a team built around her. Again, she's super good. If you have her, you can make a super good team to just one-shot bosses. The terrain, which is one of the stages where she shines the most. In some other bosses, you need to be careful. You cannot just charge and prepare that charge attack, because you need to cover, attack, do some mechanics. So yeah, good unit, not the best Pilgrim, or at least in my opinion. Now let's move into the next one, which is going to be Haran, and she's one of my favorites in terms of design with Isabel. In terms of design for the Pilgrims Burst 3 units, my favorite ones are Haram and Isabel by far. She has insane damage over time damage, can penetrate enemies, and also super high burst generation skill for a sniper rifle, but that's also her weakness. She is a sniper, meaning, you know, even though she performs super well and it's probably going to be your best DPS if you don't have any other Pilgrim, she's getting limited by her weapon. And honestly, it's hard to place her because, again, I think she can fit on any team, but I think there are other Pilgrims that no doubt are going to be just better overall. That you can just slap them into any team and they will just perform super. And one of them, it's obviously going to be Modernia. Now let me switch the game. If you pull for Modernia, if you have her, you are probably are in luck, because you don't need any other DPS, or at least she can be one of your main DPS units, or just to fill spots for special interception teams. She has an amazing AoE damage when she's using her burst skill. Like, again, amazing. I think she's probably one of the top DPS, not the top DPS in the game, but almost. She has good energy generation. She can also move herself with her hit rate, and even though she shines the most on AoE combats where there's multiple enemies, when there's a single target or a single boss, she still has decent damage, or not decent, super good damage. Now, what are her downsides? In my opinion, depending on the team and composition that you are using, having a longer burst time with her ultimate can be bad in some times, because most buffs in this game are 5 to 10 seconds long, meaning you might be losing some DPS. But again, she will probably outperform any DPS you have. We are talking here in general. If you are using a specific composition for special interception, obviously you will have better DPS, but you can put her on almost any team to fill a spot, and that's why she can fit on any team. Now let's move to the next one, which is going to be Isabel. Like I was saying before, she has one of my favorite designs with Haram, but still, that's the only thing she's good for. Like, her design is amazing, but that's it. She kinda sucks in this game. At least for being a Pilgrim Burst 3 unit, we can probably put her on same as getting Celine. Now, this is exaggeration. Obviously, you can't build a team around her. Not kinda, and we'll see why in a second, but we're going to place her on the last spot with Celine. Now, the reason for that is she shines on long fights. You need to stack up her buffs, and for that, you need super long fights. Meaning, for example, in raid bosses, you can build specific teams around her depending on the boss, but that's it. And the rest of the content, in the rest of the game, she doesn't shine that much. She will not put that much damage. At least, well, when we compare her to any other Pilgrim, she's just pretty weak. And now let's go into Scarlet, the last Pilgrim for the list. Now, even though Haram and Isabel have my favorite design, I have to give the best spot to Scarlet, because who doesn't like the alcoholic waifu? And now she's the best DPS in the game, so we can put her in here, no problem. Same as Modernia, you can put her on any team as your main DPS or as a filler, and she will perform pretty well. Again, best DPS in the game by far, increases her attack, her critical damage, her critical rate, everything. And when you have her burst, she will just destroy enemies. Now, her main problem is the reload time. She takes 2.6 seconds, I believe, to reload, almost 3 seconds or 2.5 to fully reload, which sucks. But even then, even if you don't get units that improve the reload time, she will still be the best DPS in the game. So if you pair her with unit like X-Rupee, Admi, even Private, which is here, sorry, not here, even Private that is here, you can solve that. If you put the correct cube on her as well, you will solve that problem. And when you get T9 gear and you overload that, you can get better reload times, meaning that problem will get fixed and her DPS will only go further. So if you have Modernia and Scarlet, I would recommend personally investing on Scarlet, even though Modernia is a good pick. Like, just invest in whoever you like. But yeah, I think this is a pretty fair tier list. Any team, we can put these two girls. Haram could be up here as well, but I think she's usable in most situations, but cannot fit out on every team. If you have a Snow White, again, she's a good investment if you want to start building teams around her, and you can complete the terrain boss, which everyone hates. And then Isabel sadly isn't up there. We can remove Aslan from here now. But yeah, this is the tier list. Let me know if you agree with me and what I've been saying here, or if you would change anything on the tier list. Like always, before you go, if the video was useful, don't forget to like and subscribe. You can also follow me on Twitch, link in the description below, and see you on the next one.